Ever feel like you're stuck in a digital Groundhog Day? Performing the same mind-numbing tasks on your Mac, day in, day out? Well, today we're going to break that cycle. We're going to explore how you can reclaim your time by, well, teaching your Mac to do all the boring work for you.
Just think about it for a second. Formatting that same report every single morning, resizing and saving a whole batch of photos, or my personal favorite, that endless, soul-crushing copy-pasting. We've all been there, right? Feeling like a robot, just clicking and typing the same sequence over and over again.
Let's just call it what it is. Digital drudgery. Each little action seems so small on its own. A few seconds here, a few there, but when you add it all up, whoa, it is a massive hidden time sink. But what if you could record those actions just one more time and then have your Mac do them for you, perfectly, forever?
Okay, so let's dive right in. We're going to be looking at a tool called Macro Recorder for Mac. And the whole concept is just brilliantly simple. You do a task once, the software watches and records your every move, and then it can play that entire sequence back flawlessly, on an endless loop if you want. So, this recorded sequence, it's got an official name. It's called a macro. That's it. And don't let that technical-sounding name fool you. This isn't some complex code. It is quite literally just a recording of your own actions. Every mouse movement, every click, every key you press, all bottled up and ready to be unleashed whenever you want. And creating your first one it's a super quick 5-step process. You just download the software, give it permission to see your screen, then you set a hotkey to start recording. You do your task, heck, even just moving the mouse around for a test. You hit the hotkey again to stop, set a different key for playback, and then you just press it. You'll literally watch your Mac's cursor perfectly mimic your exact movements. It's kind of magical. And okay, this is where it starts to get really powerful. Need that task done just once? Done. Need it done 5 times in a row? Easy. Or how about setting it to loop infinitely for a task that just needs to run all day? Yep, you have total command over how many times it repeats. So recording your actions is one thing, but true automation, that requires a little finesse. Because you don't always want your macro playing back at your own, human speed. Sometimes you need it to be lightning fast. Other times you actually need it to be patient. So you've really got 2 main ways to control the speed. First, you can use %control to just speed everything up or slow it down, kind of like fast-forwarding through a bunch of data entry. Or, for more precise work, you can use fixed time delay. This lets you add a specific pause between each action, which is absolutely crucial when you need to wait for something like a web page or an app to finish loading. Now, once you've mastered the speed, you can start to make your macros even smarter. This is where we move beyond just rigid, repetitive playback, and we start building in some real-world flexibility. For example, you can add a random delay before the macro even starts. Now, this sounds a little odd, but it's surprisingly useful. It can make your automated actions appear a lot more human, or it can stagger tasks so they don't all fire off at the exact same millisecond. You just set a time range, and the software picks a random delay within it each time. And in the same way, you can add a random delay after the macro is finished. This is especially great for those infinite loops we were talking about. Instead of the macro finishing and bam, immediately starting over, you can program in a more natural feeling, variable pause between each cycle. All right, so we've covered the fundamentals. Now let's get into the pro-level features. The stuff that really turns your Mac into a true autonomous worker, running tasks for you even when you are nowhere near your desk. This right here is a total game changer: scheduling. You can set a complex report to generate itself at 3 a.m., so it's just waiting for you when you get up in the morning. Or you could have it run some system maintenance over the weekend. You set the date and time, and your Mac basically becomes your own around-the-clock automated assistant. And you know what's really satisfying? The software actually quantifies all your savings with something called a human input counter, which tracks every single click and keystroke it does for you. And that number, that isn't just a metric. It's a direct measure of the tedious physical effort that you've been spared. So what does this all really add up to? It's about so much more than just convenience. You are saving countless hours. You're reducing the physical risk of repetitive strain. A well-recorded macro never makes a typo, so you eliminate human error. And maybe most importantly, you free up your mental energy for the creative, strategic work that actually matters, the stuff a computer can't do. So as we wrap up, I'm going to leave you with a challenge. Take a hard look at your daily workflow.
Find that one piece of digital drudgery, that one thing that just drives you crazy, and ask yourself, what repetitive task will you automate first?